Hello and welcome to the Feel Good Everyday podcast. I'm Annie Vinia. I'm an integrative health practitioner, 500-hour yoga teacher, meditation teacher, and I'm excited to have Amy Dave. Did I
Yeah.
say that right? Okay, awesome. On today's podcast, I'm super excited. Amy, please tell me about yourself, what you do, who you are. I know you're a mom for sure. What else?
I'm a mom of three teenage boys. I am,
Yeah, so we get that common with
yep.
teenagers. Yep.
I have been a physician assistant for 25 years, and I became a women's wellness coach about 4 years ago. I now teach women that PMS is not normal and how to get rid of their symptoms using just simple changes in their daily habits.
Yes, love that. So you've got the busyness and chaos of the kids and the busyness and chaos of creating your business and working your business with your clients and everything. So full, but good life.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
What brought you to, from a physician's assistant to coaching your own clients, and why PMS?
Started when I went to heal my own symptoms.
Yep.
My doctors had always told me PMS is normal. You just have to deal with it. Take your pain medicines, push through the pain. So that's what I was trained to do.
Right.
And it was from the wellness communities that I actually learned about this thing called menstrual cycle thinking, where your body goes through 4 distinct phases. And in each phase, you need different nutrients. You need different exercises.
Yeah.
Your metabolism is different in the 4 phases. Your brain function is different in the 4 phases. I never knew any of this. And when I first learned about it, I was very hesitant. I'm like, there's no way this could work. How could this be possible? But I tried it. And within 4 months, my menstrual symptoms had gone away. So no more cramps, no more irritability, no more heavy bleeding, all of that. And I was like, wow, this is great. So I kept doing it.
Yeah.
And several months later, I noticed my migraines went away and I had so much more mental clarity and was waking up refreshed and all of these things that I didn't expect. And that's when I have to teach this to other women. And so I transitioned from clinical practice to now wellness coaching.
Yeah, I love that. And I think I relate so much to that story of like, what? It can't be that simple, right? Or that easy for myself. And when I tell clients about like cycle syncing with seeds, they look at me like I'm crazy. And I'm like, no, I promise. It helps. You know? So what do you hope women understand when they're going through these symptoms, right? When they accept them as normal?
Yes. Well, that's the first problem. We've been taught to just say that PMS is normal. It happens and we just deal with it. It's your body's way of telling you something is off. Of the symptoms, now I understand, but it can be a nutrition factor or a stress factor or too much exercise. For me, it was too much exercise. I thought I was doing everything right and I was not eating enough nutrient-dense food and I was exercising too much. And those two things raised my cortisol. Right? And cortisol is notorious for weight gain, especially around the belly, right? It prevents you from sleeping at night because you're up at 3 a.m. These things. And once I started taking care of one thing at a time, like I said, over several months, I just started noticing all kinds of benefits that I wasn't even planning on.
Right. Yeah. And I love how you touched upon the stress and the cortisol, because I think the research that's coming out as women get older, that we get more and more receptive to the stress, and something that we could maybe handle in our 20s becomes worse in our 30s, 40s, and beyond. How old were you when you finally said, okay, enough was enough? There's got to be a better way.
No, I was 41. I missed 2 decades of my life.
Yeah, no, I think that makes so much sense because we get to a point of like, enough is enough. We're done.
And I think it's also cumulative too, right? With the first pregnancy, it's not so bad. But then with the second one, you already have a toddler and you're not sleeping and you're not eating. And then with the third and the fourth, it's a cumulative effect of a lot of different things.
So true. I know. And I think you don't have the time or the desire to put up with that anymore, right?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. When women first come to you, kind of what are they saying? What are those markers that you hear maybe with most of them, if not all of
Yep.
them?
So some women, but not everybody, has their PMS symptoms. And these can be anything from migraines to breast pain to cramping, bloating, irritability, heavy bleeding, passing clots, irregular cycles, right? But the things that I hear the most are I'm exhausted and I don't know why, right? My doctor said my was normal. I'm taking all these supplements. I'm exercising 3 times a week or 4 times a week. I'm eating lots of salads and I'm doing all these things and I'm not seeing results.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
They're just surviving each day. And that's what I was doing. You wake up, you're tired. You go through the day, you're
Yeah.
just kind of going through the motions, you're checking off things off the to-do list, but you're not really happy. You're not enjoying life. You're not present with your kids or your husband or
Right.
whoever else is around. And it was just that feeling of, I don't even know who I am anymore. I'm just like a robot or a zombie. I'm just going through the motions. It's very vague because, again, your doctors will be like, no, your blood work's normal. Maybe you just need some supplements or something, but maybe you don't.
Right, right, exactly. Yeah, and I actually had been through the experience with my daughter who had very painful PMS symptoms and period symptoms of just take a leave that whole week. That was their answer. I was like, there's gotta be something else because that's not really an answer. Yeah, so I love that. And I'm sure, how long does it take when a woman kind of starts working with you to start to see improvements or gets to a point of like, I found myself again. I see
So
me.
within 1 month, you can definitely see improvement of your symptoms. Your cramps will be much
Right.
milder. Your moods will be more stable. After 3 to 4 months, some of my clients have no symptoms at all. And
That's
if they
amazing.
have, it's very minimal. So what happens with
Mhm.
me, and I'm sure it happens with my clients too, but when I'm on point and I'm eating right and I'm exercising, I feel good, right? And then there's a wedding or a vacation or holidays, and there's 10
Right.
days or 2 weeks maybe where I wasn't eating great. I wasn't on my exercise routine. I was up late at a party or whatever. And that following month, yeah, I
Mhm.
get some cramps back or I'll feel more irritable. But I know exactly why it happened, right?
Yeah.
Now I'm aware of, yes, I ate those foods that I shouldn't have eaten. I didn't sleep as much. And I know, okay, I have the cramps. I know the foods that can help me eliminate them, right? So
Yes.
it's not going to be perfect. I've been doing this about 6 years now. It's still not perfect.
Right. Yeah.
But
We're
like I
human.
said, I am aware and I understand.
Yeah.
Yes, I ate that fried dish at the wedding and now I have cramps and I know why. Okay, I need some ginger or celery juice or something to help eliminate those cramps.
Yes. Oh, I love that. And I think, it's such simple answers, but having the answers is key,
Yes.
right? That not knowing of what is going on with my body, trying to find all the answers on Google or Instagram or whatever, it gets really frustrating because we're all so different
Yeah.
too, right? And different things are happening to us at different times of the month or events or whatever. And I think be able to go to you and get that information and be like, I know why. Even if I'm getting the symptoms because of XYZ, I know why and I know how to fix it is just as valuable as being able to fix it, right? Or change
Yeah,
that.
because it really becomes more intuitive at that point. You understand
Yes.
your body, you understand what it's asking for. Another
Hmm.
example is with your cravings, right? If you're craving salty
Right.
food, you're not craving sodium, which is what we're eating.
Right.
You might be needing magnesium or potassium, right?
Mhm. Yes,
So
exactly.
your body's
Exactly.
trying to talk to you. We just have to learn how to interpret
Right.
that.
Yes. Oh, I love that. What is your take on sodium? I think there's such a divide.
Yes, your body needs sodium. And the teaspoon that you put in your home cooked meal is not going to affect you. It's that
Right.
processed
Right.
food, the frozen stuff, the snack stuff. It's that
Mhm.
sodium that's really harmful.
Yes, thank you. I completely agree. Okay, awesome. What are women doing that they generally think is helping that might actually be working against
Yep.
them?
So again, I thought I was eating healthy, right? Lots of salads.
Right.
I wasn't having enough nutrients though. So I really needed to up my vegetable intake, my protein intake, my fiber intake. I actually eat now, I think, 4 smaller meals and a couple of snacks throughout the day, but they're the right kind of
Yes.
foods, right? It's nuts, avocados, hummus with some vegetables. But I'm eating a lot more than I used to. Just because
Yes.
mice were very empty calories. My pasta was just carbs and sauce and
Mm.
cheese, right? There was nothing else in there, which now there is. And then again, with the exercise too, I was doing 45 to 60 minutes of cardio most days of the week. And I was like, yes, this is great. I love it. I love to dance. Give me my dance workouts,
Yes.
right? But it was
Yes.
too much. It was raising my cortisol. So
Mhm.
now I exercise 15 to 30 minutes a day max. And I had to incorporate strength training as well as
Yeah.
cardio, as
Right.
well as yoga or even resting on the days where my period is really heavy. Um, and once
Yeah.
I learned to vary that in accordance to my cycle, things, I have more muscle tone now in my 40s than I did in my 20s and 30s.
Mhm. Yeah, same. And I think you bring up such a big point that I find with my clients, and it sounds like with your clients as well as myself, is I never ate enough, right? We've been told to eat small, be small, right? So our portions are tiny and it's the salads, the lettuce and
Yeah.
on a plate, nothing else, right? And the exercise, the cardio hard to keep that smallness. And so I think for me, when I work, like I said, with myself, but most of my clients, I feel like that's one of the biggest hurdles is for me to work with them and to get over is to actually eat more
Mhm.
because we're afraid to put more on our plate that we're just going to balloon up and gain
Yeah.
50
Yeah.
pounds, right? When actually, in a lot of times it's actually reversed. You'll probably lose weight because you're eating the right
Yes.
things and you are eating more instead of starving yourself. But it's that constant of like, I promise you, you're not going to gain 50 pounds by eating this and eating this much more. But it's counterintuitive from what we've been told our whole lives
Yeah.
or shown our whole lives.
Yeah.
Culture.
And like I said, I worked in healthcare. I never told my patients this because I didn't know. So
Yeah,
unless you're
exactly.
getting that information from the wellness communities or a friend said, oh, this really worked, like it's not mainstream knowledge yet.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. And I hope we'll get
Yes.
there one day, though. Great. Okay. The women I work with are so tired, right? That exhaustion. They've tried everything and they still can't figure out what to do. A lot of like what you were saying as well. How often do you think cycle is a part of that picture or the picture, right? The answer to what's going on?
Here's the thing, your body has different systems, but they all work together. Right.
Mhm.
So your gut health is going to affect your brain health. Your brain health is going to affect your menstrual health. Your menstrual health is going to affect your fat composition. And like all of these things are interrelated. And if you start fixing one system or one issue, once that gets
Mhm.
better, then you fix the next one. Once that gets better, then you fix the
Yes.
next one. So it is really like a holistic approach. And it doesn't matter where you
Mhm.
start. I like to start where the person wants to start. Do you want to start with your food habits? Do you want to start with moving more? Do you want to start with improving your sleep or reducing your stress?
I love
Do
that.
you want to start with gut
Yeah.
health, right? You start with one thing. And once you see
Mhm.
improvement and you're getting better at that, then you say, okay, what's next? What's the next most bothersome symptom or thing that I want to address? Yeah, your whole body works together.
Right. Yeah. And I feel like when you start to work on these things, you see effects in other
Just like I
areas.
know I said before, I wasn't expecting my migraines to go away. Then my husband and I were just sitting one day and I was like, gosh, it's been like 6 months since I've taken medication for my migraines. And it just like dawned
Yes.
on me. Yeah. Or like my kid came up to me and again, several months after I had practiced all this cycle syncing, and he was like, Mom, you're not yelling as often as you used to. And I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, I guess you're right. So it was just little
Yeah.
that I noticed that I didn't even anticipate, right? I just wanted to get rid of my cramps and my heavy bleeding and my irritability. I was like, just help me with that. And then there were so many other things that I would have never had the energy to start a business at the age of 39.
Yeah.
Right. But I learned about this at 40. I implemented it by 41. I was really like doing it and into it. And then, yes, I had the energy, the mental clarity, the focus to take on the task of starting a business.
Yes, I love that. So based off of that, what's the thing you would say to most women on what they should either be aware of, work on first, when they first start to feel like there's got to be something that can help me or a way to help
Yep. So
myself?
the first step, you don't even have to change anything in your daily routine. Just start tracking, track your
Mhm.
cycle, right? Are you getting a monthly bleed? Is it heavy for more than 2 days, which it shouldn't be? Write down all your symptoms. Write down the foods that you were
Mhm.
eating. And
Yeah.
after 3 or 4 months, you'll start to see patterns. For me, it was every time I eat fried foods, I get cramps. For some people, it's
Ah,
dairy. For some people, it's gluten, right? But you won't know until you start tracking. So just track your cycle, track your symptoms, and track what you're eating, your activity level. You can track how your stress is. Just start
mhm.
writing it down. You can do it in a paper calendar. There's lots of apps where you can plug in your symptoms and all these things. And you'll start to see those patterns. And when you start to see that, then you can start asking questions like, hey, every time I eat fried foods, I get cramps. Maybe if I avoid foods, and to me, I haven't eliminated fried foods from my diet. I just don't eat them in my luteal phase right now. Or like after
Yes,
ovulation,
okay.
maybe. For the second half of my cycle, I don't eat the fried food, but I do eat them
Yep.
because I like them in my follicular phase, right?
Yeah.
But small amount, right? It's limited. It's like a special treat.
Right.
That helps. Usually I don't have cramps if I do it that way. Everybody's
I
different.
love
You just got to find your own
Yeah.
patterns. But like I said, tracking and keeping a little journal or an app or something will help you start to see where things can get some improvement.
I think that's so big because, we're human. We can't be 100%,
Hmm.
right? So a lot of the people I talk with, I think, again, they've been told you have to be all or nothing. But that's when we, go binge and eat all
Yes.
the things,
Yeah. And you fall
right?
off.
Exactly. So being able to be like, okay, I know I can have it, maybe not a lot of it, but that little something in this day and be okay later allows me to kind of curb that
Yes.
craving, right? While still feeling
Yeah.
good. Yes, I love that. How would you describe what hormone fatigue actually looks like? Just to help people recognize themselves in this.
Again, your labs might be normal, right? Your
Right.
hormones are very hard to track with labs because they'll be low, they'll be all over the place. Um, I go by how you're feeling. If you're having symptoms, it's your body trying to tell you that something is off and we need to fix it. Whether that's
Right.
not enough sleep, not enough water, too much or too little exercise, right? The wrong food. That all comes later. The first step is to say, okay, my body is, I have migraines. Why might I be getting cramps? I thought
Mhm.
heavy bleeding was normal until I learned that no, it wasn't normal. The functional nutrition coach that I initially learned about cycle syncing from, she was like, yeah, heavy bleeding is not normal. That's your body's way of asking for help.
Yes.
So it's just, you got to learn your own body because everybody's symptoms are different. Everybody's going to react differently to certain foods. Like dairy bothers some people, it doesn't bother others, right? Gluten bothers some people, it doesn't bother others. But if you're taking the time, and it could be a couple of minutes a day just to check in, how's my energy? How's my stress? What did I do to
Mhm.
manage my stress today? Did I drink enough
Right.
water? It's easy things that you can start doing. And I tell people, like, even if you have 5 minutes a day, that's enough to start something, right?
Yes, I agree. Yeah, that's right. What would you tell a woman, who's in her 20s that experiencing PMS symptoms compared to their late 40s,
Mhm.
perimenopause, right? And what their symptoms are going to be? Kind of what are the two different things you would say to each of
Well,
them?
so for the younger women, yes, you should be having a monthly cycle. It should be relatively pain-free, and you should have heavy bleeding for about 2 days. Anything outside, look into it. Again, if your doctor is trained in nutrition and functional medicine, they may be able to help you. If not, there's hormone coaches, there's wellness coaches, nutrition coach, all these kind of wellness arenas that can be helpful. Now, when you're in that perimenopause stage, your cycles are going to be irregular, right? That's part of that change. But you need to make sure you're taking enough protein. You're building muscle, right? You're doing that protect the bone, because bone loss is really important. If you're eligible, you need to be learning about HRT and taking HRT if that's something that is on the plate for you. It's a contraindication to one of my medical conditions, so I can't take it. But if it is, you should at least have that discussion, be educated on it with your doctors. Yeah. So you need to protect your heart, your bones, your muscle, and your brain as you approach those menopause years, because those things thrive with estrogen. So when you're losing the estrogen, you need to keep learning something new for your brain to prevent Alzheimer's. Take up new hobbies or art, or learn a new instrument or something different. For your bones, you need that weight-bearing exercise, right? For the muscles, you need, again, weight-bearing exercise with weights, right? To protect your body, because if you fall at the age of 80 and you're taking care of yourself, it's not as bad as if you fall at 80 and you're not taking care of yourself, and then you break a hip and then you can't move. It goes up again in the menopause years. So you want to take care of your heart, your cholesterol, all of that.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love that. And those are things I say to my clients all the time too. And I think, we're such different stages for women, especially as we go through these different decades and hormonal changes, and there are different requirements. There are things we could do in our 20s we can't do in our 40s and get the same results, right? Okay, love that. All right, kind of a rapid fire here at the end, just some more fun questions. We get to know you. What is your favorite morning drink?
Oh, non-caffeinated herbal teas. I have a whole bunch of flavors.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. What would you say your favorite flavor is?
I like right now I think I have tropical hibiscus, and there's a lemon ginger turmeric one that I like too.
That sounds good. And I love that. Okay. What is the last book you read or are reading right now?
I just started The Magic by Rhonda Byrne. Is it Rhonda Byrne? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I just started that.
Yeah.
So I'm like on the first couple pages.
Okay. Okay. So what was your last book that you really liked? Do you remember? It's hard on the spot.
The last book I read was actually Michelle Obama's The Light We Carry. I just finished that one a couple weeks ago. I like that one.
All right. I've heard good things.
Yeah,
that was
I
a good
liked
one.
Becoming
Okay.
more, but this one was good too.
Okay. That's good to hear. I've read Becoming, but I haven't read this latest one, so I'll have to put it on. Okay. Awesome. Last question. Where can people find you and learn more about the work?
I am pretty active on social media. So if you go to the Wealth of Wellness LLC on either Facebook, Instagram, Threads, TikTok, you'll find me. DM me, say hello. I would love to just meet you and get to know you.
Yes, awesome. Thank you. I feel like our work overlaps and interchanges between the two of us. I love that you encompass the whole body when you're looking at the work you're doing. And I think as women, we don't give ourselves enough credit when it comes to our cycles. It's become, based on our culture, right? It's become this thing that no one really talks about and kind of hides away. And I think the more information that's out there about all these different hormone changes, whether it's just getting your period all the way through menopause, the better for all of us to make it feel normal and tell us what is normal, what our body's talking to us and we're not realizing. So I really value the work you do because I think it is gigantic to help us move forward.
Yeah,
so thank you.
You're also doing amazing things in the world. So I love that.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, well, thank you, Amy. It's been great to have you on. I will put all of her links below so you can find her. And leave a comment if it makes sense, kind of wanting to talk more about your symptoms or things that you have going on in your body that you're not sure about.
Thank you.
Thanks.